We made it to another Friday, everyone. And guess what? The man, the myth, the legend is here. Oh, and so is Kevin Campbell. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Highbury Squad. Joining me is my podcast brother from another mother who is just causing havoc over on the same old Arsenal. Super Kevin Campbell.
Bow, bow, bow. Yeah, causing all sorts over there.
Yeah, it was a good tackle on Warren Barton, by the way. I mean, he's the one that should be doing the tackling, but really good stuff. And joining us, the squaddies. Okay, squaddies, the hierarchy, the advisory board of the squaddies. Guess who's in town? That's right. It's Jags, the luckiest man in the world. Welcome, Jags.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Kev. And good evening to all the squaddies on tonight.
So here's the scoop. I mentioned to the squaddies the other day that you actually sent me a Word document detailing exactly how you go about the football prizes. So 2 seconds here. Let me get my banner up. And also, I just want to show you guys before, because we love to laud our squaddies in any which way we can. And as you saw, we did that with, by the way, I still don't know who did this. So if you guys know, or if someone did, please do let me know. I thought it was Matty K, but it's not. So we'll find that out eventually. But this is why the legend that is Jags has become the legend. It's not just Arsenal swag, by the way, guys, who's been winning. This, Kev recognises that back four, that's for sure. Yeah. This, legend. Mr. Wenger. And then there was this. Oh, and then he, dipped into a little bit of Real Madrid, Barcelona stuff as well. And then, of course, there was Vieira as well. But mind you, we still don't have, Kev, that's missing is the Pires picture, which is incoming. Jags,
definitely,
just tell us your methodology, because Newman and Amesy, and not so much Amesy, but Matty K, Mark. Yeah. They're all wondering, how do you do
fix? They're saying it's a fix.
So it all started back in February. I think it was on this show that I saw the Wenger's prize being published. So what I did then, I just tried my luck. I bought 4 tickets for that, and it was random numbers. And then luckily, when the draw came out, I won it. So what I've been doing is for all the Arsenal prizes now, I choose 7 numbers, and I've got 2 numbers which I always pick. And the rest of the 5, I just randomly select from the actual site. And then if there's anything else that I like, I just choose 4 random numbers and just wish for my luck. And my luck's on my side at this time. That is it.
Jags, the 2 numbers you choose, which you choose all the time.
Yeah.
How many times have they won?
They've won 3 times.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
3 times. Yeah. So Sophie's got the breakdown, but I don't want you guys to publish it because
I've not shared it. I will not share it.
If you look at it, those 2
Why
numbers.
Why don't you talk us through it a little bit? Okay, tell them the 2 numbers.
Tell you the 2 numbers.
Do you want to tell us the
No, he's not going to tell us. I'll be on it. What are you talking about?
So those 2 numbers obviously mean something to me. So that's why I've chosen those 2 numbers. And luckily those 2 numbers have come out 3 times.
Tell us tell us the 2. Don't tell us the 2 numbers, but why is it those 2 numbers mean something to you? Is it your kids?
It's an age, my mum's age, and my mum's date of birth. So basically when she was born that year.
Nice one.
Wow, nice one.
Yeah.
So how many tickets do you buy? You said to me you buy like 7 for the Arsenal, and then you'll dabble in like 2 or 3 for the others, which is unbelievable still, considering they sell 100 tickets per auction. It's quite amazing.
So like for the Zidane one and the Rivaldo one and the Pep Guardiola signed frames, I only picked 4 numbers, and out of that, my numbers came up. And obviously, it's random generator. So if it's like a frame draw, it's like in a random generator. So what they do is they do 1 to 65, and the computer just generates that number, and it just, if it comes out, you win the prize. And if it's a bigger prize, like the Vieira Shine shirts or Perez Shine shirts, it's between 1 and 99, and it's a ball machine, like the lottery basically. And if your number comes out, you win that prize.
Are you a maths person? Do you do that in your job? Are you an analytical person or no?
I'm not. No.
Amazing. As you can imagine, Newman's not having any of this.
No, that is a shock.
And you know what's really adorable though is Jag sent me the Word document and he gave me his formula and stuff, which I would never share with anybody. And he actually said, he goes, "I'm sending this to you, Sophie, because I don't want the squaddies to be mad at me." Kev.
Yeah. No, listen, I'll be honest with you. They're not having it because they're jealous, Jag.
They're jealous.
They're jealous of you. And I admit, Jags, I see you winning all this stuff. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. I wouldn't mind some of that gear myself. If I'm honest with you.
Even on the football prizes, live chat, people are absolutely going mad. They're saying, "How are you winning all these prizes?"
Yeah. I love it, man.
Doesn't make no sense. But you got to be in it to win it, right? They say.
Very true. Very
Absolutely.
true.
Do you know if you've won the Kanu yet, or have you missed out?
8:30.
8:30. Okay.
Yeah. And
My goodness.
I've bought 7 tickets for that as well.
So okay, so we have Mark, who's in chat tonight. Our regular listener, super top shelf guy, Mark Bakradan, is our ticket winner. So he's hoping he may stop the Jags machine tonight.
It's going to come to some. It's going to come in. It's going to come to an end some point, right?
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Maybe. Not that we want it to come to an end for you, but it would be great to see, Mark win as well. But superb stuff, Jags. I mean, we've just enjoyed the stories, and I know you've enjoyed the banter as well.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
With you winning and stuff like that. And tell us a little bit about. I know you didn't mind because you sent it to me, but these two little nuggets in your life, very special.
Yeah, they are. So my daughter Simran, she's going to be 7 this year, and my son is going to be 4 next Friday. So, and they obviously love Arsenal.
Yeah, are they into football? So they love it.
They do. Yeah,
cool.
they love all the prizes they're winning. So they go, "Who's this person now? Who's that one you've won?"
I love it.
Oh, you could teach. So you're teaching. Oh, good. You teach them. That's good. Yeah. Really good.
Generational, Kev. Generational.
Yeah, really good.
Okay. Before we let you go, and thanks for taking time out from your family this Friday evening, you've got Super Kev, the legend here. You get to ask him anything you want, Arsenal related or not. You get to ask him whatever you want right now before we get into Kevin Says. Because let me tell you, his 3 questions tonight might light the fire. I'm just saying, just giving everyone a pre-warning here.
Do you reckon Arteta's got time? I know you like him.
I like Arsenal. So whether it's Arteta or another manager, I think the manager coming in or the manager at the helm deserves a bit of time. I don't think 18 months or however he's been there is enough. I don't. Not necessarily, not just because of the crap that Arsenal have been through. But, I think anyone who takes over Arsenal needs a bit of time.
I'm Arteta in, so let's see what happens next Thursday.
Even after last night?
I tell you what, Jags, some of your luck's rubbing off on him after last night, mate. I tell you.
What did I tell? I said to KC on a show a couple nighs ago, I'm like, let's get Jags involved somehow in the Europa League. Sprinkle a bit. And Kev was like, no, he's the auction magician. We can't upset the
Don't
apple
mix
cart.
the two.
Don't mix the two. Don't mix the two.
I still think we'll go through. But then if we do get to the final, then again, it's a massive game for us against United.
Listen, let's get there first because you just never know. Football's a funny old game.
And you know what? We've had United's number. Arteta versus Ole. I mean, there's certain managers that do certain things against certain teams, and he's definitely done well against Ole. And we'll see. I mean, Roma are and have been good, but I think you've seen the difference in Italian football there, Kev.
Right? The quality, the quality. I mean, when you think about it, really think about it, and obviously we're going to get to it in Kev Says. When you actually think about, look at the season we've had.
Mm-hmm.
We've been awful. Let's be honest. as a team and a squad, we've been awful. We haven't been consistent, but we still have a chance after playing an awful first leg to go through to the Europa League final.
Mm-hmm.
We lose the game 2-1 and we play absolutely crap. They go in at halftime beating Manchester United 2-1 and they lose the game by 6. Come on. It's crazy.
It's crazy. You know what, Jags? Why don't you stay for the first Kevin Says question? You want to do that? Do you have time? You want to stay on with us for the first Kevin Says question? All right. So instead of videos today, you guys, because as you know, Kev was doing La Liga last week. So the videos he sent me, there's so much that's happened this week and he's been super busy. So what we're going to do is just have Kev ask you each question and then the bonus question live tonight. So are you guys ready for question number 1? Because Kev is and has been ready since early this morning when we spoke. Go on, Super Kev.
First question is, did Mikel Arteta get it totally wrong last night?
Good question. And that is the question, because one of the things for me, and I'm going to lob it over to Jags, is I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans, even key informers, hosts of shows, talk about how second half Emery last night was one of the reasons why we fired him, because of how he went negative. And even when they went down to 10 men, they didn't push. Whereas I felt like all of us should be focusing on what we didn't do versus what Emery didn't do. So, Jags, I'm going to lob it over to you before we get into the squaddy comments. What's your thoughts on Kev's first question?
Yesterday, I think Arteta got his tactics completely wrong. He played a false number 9, which he shouldn't. He should have played Martinelli maybe, and obviously had an Uber on the bench. But again, he just come from illness, so I'm not sure how fit he was being. But I think he got that completely wrong. As for Unai Emery, I think he just took his foot off the gas. I think he had it won. But so he went in the second half thinking they're going to be playing like the first half. But I think Arteta got it completely wrong yesterday, yes.
Jags, do you think we got lucky with the penalty? Did you think,
I think that was a penalty.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I play football myself, and I definitely, if it was like on a Sunday league football pitch, it would still be given.
You'd go down there?
Yeah.
All right. So Matty K says, no. I don't know what he means. Kevin Jean says 50. Dubba Ducky, by the way, what a great screen name. Yes. Keith says yes. Andy says no. If you're going to say no, tell us why. Ugo, and I always try to pronounce my names correctly. Ugo Chukwu.
Ugo
Chukwu. Well, listen,
yeah.
Kev, you're so good at that. What did you think of the game? What was Mikel thinking? Well, Kev's going to give us his thoughts after, but what you thought of the game, because you went back and watched the first half this morning, didn't you, Kev?
Yeah, I went back and I watched the first half, and I'm so pleased I never saw it yesterday.
See, I told you.
Honestly, yeah, you told me, and I am so pleased because I understand why people are going mad, because look, let's have it right. It didn't work. And the players look to be, if I may say so, they look to be in like they've got backpacks on. It's like they were hindered for some reason. I don't know why they look like that, because it's a semi-final. Yeah, because sometimes, pressure does that to you. Sometimes pressure could do that to players. But the key is the game is 90 minutes.
Very lucky.
And how do we look at the first half, look at the second half, and we still have a chance of going through? No. That Leno save could prove to be massive for us.
That save is probably one of, if not the most important saves Leno has made in his career. And before his, blip this season, and I say this all the time, you guys are probably bored of hearing me saying it. As much as Aubameyang's goals in the 2 previous seasons were gold for us, Leno was also gold for us. And I think people forget that because Emmy came in and did such an amazing job after Leno's injury, getting us through Project Restart, Kevin Jags, getting us through the FA Cup and to the final. And so, in essence, Leno also helped Emmy reboot his career, right? Let's be honest, like out of adversity comes opportunity for others. And that save, that would have been 3-1. Game over. You know,
would have been game over.
So yeah, like completely insane.
2-0 as well. 2-0 as well.
Was it 2-0 or was it 2-1? Was that save after the penalty or before, Jags? You remind me.
2-0. It was 2-0.
Okay. So it would have been 3.
3 would have been out.
It's all game over.
Yeah.
Game over.
So I'm gonna put some comments up, including this one from Wesbird. Smash the likes. Now remember, we have a new one. We're not talking about Tottenham because until we win the Europa League, I don't feel like I can take the piss out of them right now. So the new one.
Smash it if you ain't Tottenham, I can. Just smash it.
You're the legend.
Sophie, you hit that like. And listen, if you either like it or dislike it, but just don't do nothing. Do something. That's all we ask. Either hit the like or hit the dislike.
Hit the like or hit the dislike. Okay, here we go. This one from Michael Grayson. Arteta did not get it wrong completely. His hands were tied at striker. Do you change the system or tweak it? Kev, I thought it was a bit of arrogance on the false 9 last night. It's not Man City. Like, we don't have De Bruyne. We don't have Sterling. We don't have, Mahrez. We just don't have those kind of quality players. And I felt like, when I say to you sometimes square pegs, round holes, last night was the perfect example of that. What do you think about what Michael is saying?
Yeah, listen, and I'm going to obviously go into it at the end, but I don't think he got it completely wrong. I think he got certain aspects of it wrong for sure. And after watching that first half, oh my God, I always say the players, listen, once the players cross that white line and people have a go at me for it and all that, but I know I've been there. Once you cross that white line, when shit don't go right for you on the pitch, you have to work it out. You have to stand up and be counted. And like I say, Sophie, sometimes during the adversity, you find out quite a bit about your team because it was so poor. But they came to life when they went down to 10 men. When Ceballos went off, we played better.
Okay, so you know what? And we did that. What was the other game we did that in when we went down to 10 men and we played better with 10 men this season? I'm having a fart. It wasn't the Pepe sending off. Was it the Xhaka?
It was Leeds. Leeds.
Yes, right. So I want to ask this to you, Kev, and also to Jags from a fan perspective. Because Johnny Boy brings up this really good point. I worry that some players deliberately not playing to their full potential because they don't believe in Arteta's vision. Jags, as a fan, we don't want to believe that for a second, that professional footballers who earn so much money do that. But we've seen in the past where players give up on their manager. There's a dressing room revolt. I don't think that's going on at Arsenal. We've seen it happen at Chelsea and other clubs at other times. And actually, you could say that's what happened to Unai Emery. The player pressure cost him his job. What's your thoughts on what Johnny Boy's saying, Jags?
I don't think that the players are not playing for Arteta. I think we haven't got the players that he wants, basically. Some of the players there are not good enough to play for Arsenal. That's what I say. Like, for example, Ceballos yesterday, he made Jan Freund look like Cafu, like you guys said yesterday. So he was like ripping us in the midfield for starters, and he's playing Xhaka left back when he should be playing him in midfield with Partey. So I don't think they don't want to play for Arteta just yet, shall we say?
All right. So I want to throw this one in from MK. Hi, MK. Arsenal, Los Angeles. He's lost over in MK's opinion, Kev. Did you see him in the tunnel? I also have felt since the North London derby, there's something a little broken there, Kev. What do you make of what MK's saying?
Well, I didn't see the tunnel. But for me, if Mikel Arteta feels that Aubameyang ain't pulling his weight, he's going to be gone in the summer. Because, we talk about being ruthless. What's happening now is strengthening Mikel Arteta's mind for the summer. Everything that's happening. Because sometimes he doesn't know players are going to turn up. It's different if the team ain't functioning because of the moves, tactical moves he made. But nobody can tell me when a player crosses the white line, he doesn't know his job. They know their jobs. Fair enough, you could be poor at your job, but you know your jobs. First half, they never turned up. It could have been 4-0 in the first half. They were just so poor. So again, I think there's times where the players do turn up. There's time where the players don't turn up, and we keep saying it. They're inconsistent. They're on a roller coaster. I think Mikel Arteta's got to be ruthless. And do you know what? If the players in there ain't doing it, he's got to get rid of them. Simple as that. And if he has to change all of them, that's what he has to do.
Yeah. Before we let Jags go, I wanted to get this because one of the things that pisses me off, and I know it pisses Kev off, because when you talk about rivalries back in the day, you would be standing in the tunnel and steam would be coming off players' heads. Blood would be coming out of their noses and ears. It's a battle, right? You imagine those old, from when Kev was playing Arsenal, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool,
London
Jags,
derbies,
London derbies.
Oh my God.
Just playing football, period, right? And now you've got players swapping shirts at halftime. They're laughing and joking. And I love what Tom wrote because a few other people have brought it up to us as well. Ceballos in the tunnel, having a chin wag with the Villarreal players. I know the modern world is different, Jags, but I'm an old school girl. I do not want my players being nice before, in the middle, or after the game. You want to do that? Do it privately. In the bar where everyone used to go, have a drink, have a well done, mate. Sorry you lost. Pat on the back, everyone goes home. Jags?
I agree with you. 100%.
Give me something. Give me some juice, Jags. Tell me why.
I think basically meaning that you've lost the game already. Then if you just
exactly,
if you give your shirts away straight away. I think we did. Who did it? I think it was Shaka did it like a couple of years ago. Was it at halftime?
Well, no, wasn't it? Who was it? Andre Santos that swapped his shirt with the Man United with Van Persie. Someone swapped their shirt with Van Persie when he went to United at halftime. And I'm sure the squaddies are going to let me know who that was. My mind, I'm getting a little older now, Jag, so my mind's escaping me. But Kev, in the day, how would Tony Adams have put someone up against the wall?
It wouldn't happen.
Never.
It wouldn't happen. The most you'd get is a nod. Do you know what I mean? You know the person, know them all my life. Mum's in the opposition team.
Yeah. And it was Santos.
I want to run all over you, rub your faces, brock your neck, and then after the game, I'll shake your hand. Hey, how you doing after we've battered you?
Exactly, Kev. Even if it's someone's mother's birthday, like you want to make it miserable, but then afterwards you want to say, I wish your mum a happy birthday, right? I mean, that's how it goes, Kev. That's how it goes.
About my mum in the opposition team. I'm not talking about nobody else. I'm talking about my mum. She'd just be getting a... I'll tackle her, put her in the stand, trample all over her, and then after the game, you're right, mum, come on.
Look at this.
That is it. Brock the
right
neck.
there.
Yeah, I won't brock my mum's neck, but I'd get physical. Yeah, because that's what this is war. And again, I talk about culture. That was Arsenal's culture. That isn't Arsenal's culture anymore. And people tell me the game's changed, Sophie. It has not changed. It hasn't.
No.
Do you know what? Do you know why you're an old school girl? Because you know it works.
Yes,
Jags
Kev.
is like that because Jags know it works. That feeling of watching Arsenal and being confident that the team who take the pitch are going to have a right goal. That's what we want.
Yeah.
That yesterday ain't Arsenal. No chance. No. It's not Arsenal.
No, totally agree with that. Okay, Mr. Jags, the legend squaddy that is, the winner of all winners. Look at you right here, the Hall of Fame. We're going to start a squaddy Hall of Fame, and you are officially our first inductee into the squaddy Hall of Fame. Well done, Jags. You
Thank
are
you,
a
guys.
rock star.
Well in, Jags. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being such a good sport. And here's to us getting to that Europa League final. And I tell you something, everyone's bragging about Man United. Just give them the trophy right now. Not so fast, people. We are still in it, as are Villarreal. It's not over till the fat referee blows the whistle.
Sophie?
Yes, sir.
Let me just say this. We're the only team who could deal with that team in Manchester. I'm telling you.
Yep.
They play Villarreal, they're going to blow them apart. We're the only team. We get there, all of a sudden they're thinking, whoa, it's Arsenal. They don't care for Villarreal.
Nope.
We've got to get there.
It's a totally different ball game, 100% Ledge. I'm telling you, like, we've had their number. They've had our number for a long time. I'll tell you this about Arteta. I'll give him this. He's beaten City in a semi-final. He's beaten Chelsea in a final. He's beaten Liverpool in the Community Shield. He's beaten Liverpool in the Premier League. He's beaten Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's done some good things when it comes to those big teams.
Big teams.
So, we live in hope, Jags. What would you like to say as you exit the show this evening?
Just want to say a big thank you to having me on the show. It's been a real pleasure. And one last comment I would like to make is to all the squaddies, if you want Kroenke out, hit that like button.
Yeah, man. Hit the like button, Jags. Love that. Love it. Love it.
I love it, Jags. Listen, God bless you and your family, your kids, and keep winning. And we adore you. Thanks for being such a good sport. And well done on being inducted as the first squaddy member in the Highbury Squad Hall of Fame.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Nice one, Jags. Cheers,
see you,
mate.
Jags.
Cheers, thank you.
Keep winning, Jags.
Will do.
Invincible. He's invincible. Kev, we've got the squaddy Invincibles now. I mean, this is big time. Big time. All right, here we go. Everyone, are you ready for Kev's second question? It's live, and the legend is going to reveal right now. Go on, Kev.
Do you see that, Mark? What, can we swap tickets, Jags? I love that.
Mark's got number 30 tonight. It's in 1 minute. Come on, Mark. Do it. If you win this, I'll tell you something. You've got to log in and come into the show. All right, Kev, over to you.
My second question is, did Unai Emery get his tactics spot on and outthink Mikel Arteta?
Whoa. Okay. I'm going to go first.
Yeah, you go first on this one. Hold on. I've got the water.
Me too. I got my little red cup because it saves me from doing dishes. So I buy these cups and then I recycle them, Kev. That's how it rolls.
Environment and all that.
Environment and all that. So he definitely got it wrong from the get-go. Right.
So hold on. Let me just say the question again.
Yeah. Okay.
Did Unai Emery get his tactics spot on and outthink Arteta?
No. And here's why. Because Arteta outthought himself. And that's the problem. So therefore, Emery looked like a genius, whereas really Emery managed the game and his team, and he picked his team. He did what he was going to do regardless, right? Here's my tip. And you and I talked, Kev, multiple times this week about the left-back position and Chukwueze. And I think if there's one thing Emery thought that Arteta would do that he would play Xhaka at that left-back position, and they were prepared for that. Now, I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans talk about Emery's second-half collapse. No, there was no second-half collapse by Emery. What happened was half-time came, we made some adjustments, and when we played with 10 men, we actually played better and challenged Villarreal in a far superior way than we did in the first half. Yeah. So I think in the long run, Arteta outthought himself. Right. Here is, I'm going to get to this. Emery got lucky because of our bloody mistakes. Do you think that's true, Kev?
A little bit of like what you said, Soph. And we were so poor they could do nothing but score. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, we were so poor in the first half as a team. We deserve if we were 3 or 4 down in the first half, we couldn't have complained.
No,
because we were that awful. I watched it today and I was like, "What's going? It's that bad?" It was awful. It was.
It
terrible.
was, and you saw the defending on.
It was the first goal was. Listen,
It started in midfield, didn't it, Kev?
Yeah,
And then
but
it went to the left back position.
It could have been stopped multiple times, but the problem is we were yards off it. We weren't even half a yard. We were 2 yards off it. And in a semi-final, you can't afford to be 2 yards off it. You just can't.
No, I completely agree. Okay, so the real captain says no. Arteta picked the wrong side. Xhaka at left back is a no. I actually think this one choice, Kev, changed everything in that game, only because, like we've said, it's different when you do that against Slavia Prague. Slavia Prague are not as good as Villarreal. Yes, they beat Leicester City and knocked Leicester City out, but there was momentum. There was something. They were a better team across the 2 legs. I give them that. But if you play those 2 legs again, I'm guaranteeing Leicester win. It's one of those. And maybe that's a little arrogance. I'm sorry, but that's my truth, right?
They got Leicester at a good time.
They got Leicester at a good time. And then, you know, we also then see that, you know, Villarreal started off really well in La Liga. They've scored a lot of goals. They've lost 4 at home. They've won 4. They're a bit of a mixed bag lately, aren't they? But Unai Emery in this competition has proved his pedigree and his prowess.
He's got form, yeah. He's got major form, yeah.
And I would say one thing, and I agree with Martin, Villarreal were good for the first half hour and then they backed off. But they backed off because they got 2 goals. And Kev, why do managers do that?
No, it's not the manager. No. The manager never told him to back off. The players get 100%, because we're talking about in the first half an hour here. Still the first half. Which manager is going to tell the team to back off in the first half? He's not. But what happens is when you go 2-0 up, you don't need to chase it as much. What you do, you consolidate and you get into your shape and you say, come on. Because now the opposition has to overextend themselves, and then you're looking to catch them on the break.
Which they almost did.
Exactly.
And Leno makes that save. Otherwise, it's 3-0 and the tie's over.
The tie's over. Exactly.
Yeah. What do you think about what Kevin says? No, Emery's stubbornness put us back in that tie. And then I want to tie that into Johnny Boys. Emery didn't go in for the kill. His conservatism has given us some hope. And also GD says, no way, they should be out of sight.
Well, should be and aren't order of the day. The key elements to it are, it's not as if Villarreal backed right off onto the edge of their box, Sophie.
They didn't, Kev.
Not exactly. They still created chances.
Yep.
They still attacked us. They still had actions near our box, what we had to defend. But what happened? We started to defend better.
Mm-hmm.
Leno produced a world-class save. These are the things that kept us in it. And then we get an action where Saka commits a couple of defenders and there's contact. Some say it's a penalty. Some say it wasn't. Some say it was. I think it was, because there was some contact. We go down and we get a lifeline with 10 men, Sophie. How do we work this one out? How do we play better with 10 men as opposed to 11?
Oh, you literally took the question out of my mouth. And I can't answer that because I don't understand. I think I'm a pretty smart person about what I see in a football match. I'm not a tactical genius by any stretch of the imagination. But it's almost like this team feeds off adversity, Kevin.
Sophie, PG made a comment yesterday. She said she thought it was the sending off that riled the players. And you know what? I watched it again, and you could see all the players feeling hard done by, Sophie.
Right.
They felt hard done by. And then, obviously, Ceballos goes off. I think it took about 4 minutes for him to go off the pitch. But the Arsenal players seemed to have more energy after that. Where was that edge in the first half.
Which is why I said to PG then, you're talking about Arteta at halftime galvanizing the players, but then you said the players got pissed off with the sending off, and that's what galvanized our play.
Well,
so
they did play a bit better at the start of the second half, like what you said. They did.
Right.
They did. Then, obviously, the sending off happens, and then it goes up another level. He waits 10 minutes, it brings Martinelli on, and then it's like, we're going for it a bit.
Yeah. Do you think this question from Daniel's really interesting, because it's come out saying that he was going to sub Ceballos, but he didn't have time to do it. I think that's a bit of an excuse, right? In my mind and a lot of fans' minds, Kev, and you saw that first half now, at halftime, just make a couple changes, one change even the left back position, and put Xhaka in midfield. Give us a bit more sense of ownership, bit more commanding there in the middle of the park.
Look, I truly believe if Aubameyang could play 45 minutes, he would have played the second half.
Mm-hmm.
If he could play 45 minutes. But he couldn't. That's all he could give us at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was on the pitch a few minutes and he had one really good chance. So what could he do over time? So again, I totally understand. And there were some mistakes made yesterday. 100% there were mistakes made by the manager. There was. I'm not going to say there wasn't. But the one thing I will say is we did step up a bit in the second half. We did get that all-important away goal, because you know what? That goal might be the goal that gets us through. It might just be.
Kev, I've always said that one of Arsenal's biggest Achilles heel, even in the latter Wenger era, in the Unai Emery downfall, and in Arteta's toughest moments, it's been mental impotence. The reason why Tiger Woods was so dominant is because even before they teed off on the first hole, players were intimidated by him. They were afraid of him. He got in their heads. Michael Jordan, genius, but he got in people's heads. Tom Brady gets in people's heads. The 89 squad, your squad, got in people's heads. The almost invincible Arsenal squad, barring that loss to Chelsea, got in people's heads. Man United, the 99ers, the kids even, Cantona, they just used, you stand in the tunnel against Arsenal back then and they were in your head. We haven't had that for so long, Kev.
And you know what, Sophie? That's a really, really, really good point you make. That is all to do with the culture.
Mm-hmm.
All to do with the culture. Because you know what? When you are part of a winning culture, it's unbreakable. The fans feel it. The fans are connected to it, because you know when you're watching football, whether it's on TV or you're at the game, you see the boys take the pitch, you know they've got us, man. These guys have got us. That's not Arsenal, what I'm seeing, Sophie.
No.
And listen, whether it's been at the end of Arsene Wenger's tenure, whether it's under Unai Emery or under Mikel Arteta, this ain't Arsenal. This is not Arsenal. So this is why we battle on air sometimes and we talk about that culture needs to change.
Yeah.
The process, and people are saying, what's all this trust the process? The process started 16 years ago trying to be league champions again. Because we ain't judged on FA Cups. Are we? We're not judged on FA Cups. It's nice to win and get a bit of success. But Arsenal Football Club are not judged on FA Cups. We are judged on league titles. And we have been so far off it. It's been hard.
And, you know, GD says something too, because with that invincibility, and I'm not talking about the Invincibles, but with that toughness, we've seen it. We've seen it at City. We've seen it at United. We've seen it at Chelsea, the Terry Lampard years. You know, the refs also look at teams differently, Kev. I don't care what anyone says.
100%. Hey, listen.
Look at Liverpool in the last 2 seasons.
Sophie, 100%. When you are a winning team and you're Arsenal, referees come and have to respect you. They come and they have to respect the football club and they have to respect the players because you're winners. You've earned it. At the moment,
we haven't.
We're disjointed, Soph. We're disjointed. No. Some are going left, some are going right, some are going back, some are going, up, some are going down. Again, Mikel Arteta probably be pulling his hair out, thinking, "What do I need to do?" He needs to try and do as best as he can and get to that final.
Yeah,
because I think in the final, one-off game.
It's our jam.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's who we are now. And this is, I think, someone I can't remember who it was, but an influencer said on Twitter, "I'm sick and tired of hearing how we're just a cup team." But we are.
We are.
That is our strength right now. And I mean cup, like some people poo-poo the Community Shield, but barring Henderson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, that was a full-strength Liverpool team and we beat them.
Yep.
We beat a full-strength City team in the semi. We beat a full-strength Chelsea team when everyone was like, "Oh, Lampard, the second coming English manager."
Who are now in the semi-final of the
Champions League. So I know, and I tell you guys all the time, I will say what I see and see what I say. I give Arteta credit where it's due, and I criticize him where it's due. And last night, I think the game was there to be had, and he missed the moment. But in true football style, and as Kev said, it's 90 minutes, and we still have a shot. And I'll tell you, it'd be different. Let's get it. Let's get it. Go on, Kev.
Let's get to the third one because it ties in nicely with what you just said.
Yes.
So here's the bonus question, everyone. Is Mikel Arteta just lucky or is he smart?
I'll kick it off.
You kick it off. Hold on, let me get the water ready. Is he just lucky or is he smart?
I think I've seen games where I've thought this is the smart guy that I liked early on. And those games are Leicester away, the comeback against West Ham, the beating of Liverpool twice last season, beating Man United, going to Man United at Old Trafford this season, everyone lauding United that, they're going to win the Champions League and the Premier League next season. Those moments, I've thought, this guy's got it. He knows. He gets it, right? And then there's moments like last night and games against Villa and Wolves and Burnley.
Twice,
where in my mind, I'm like, why is he trying to be too clever for his own? You know how super smart people, Kev, sometimes do stupid things?
Yeah.
Because
I do. Yeah. I do. It's because it's called people are smart, but they've got no common sense.
Correct.
And you need common sense sometimes.
Right. You do. I was watching, like last night, just to switch off for a minute, I was watching an episode of Friends where Jon Favreau, the now director of all the superhero movies, but for me, he was the director and writer of the Swingers, and he's just a legend. And he was playing a role in Friends, Kev, where he was going out with Monica, and he was this Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg type guy who was a multi-billionaire, and he wanted to become the ultimate fighting champion, right? Yeah. So a guy who changed the world, made so much money, and he wanted to become the ultimate fighting champion. And you're like, how can someone so smart be so stupid? But when he says to Monica, he goes, when I came out with Moss 865, do you think there wasn't a Moss 1 to 864? And I think sometimes people like Arteta, who've been under someone like Pep, I think there's managers in our time that we've seen, even Wenger at times tried to outsmart himself. Fabio Capello at times tried to outsmart himself. It's insane how super smart people sometimes just want to squeeze a square peg in a round hole to prove a new genius point. Do you think that's far-fetched?
No, it's not far-fetched at all. We've said it all along. I don't want Granit Xhaka anywhere near that left-back spot. He's got a fullback, international fullback in Cedric, who can play right or left on the bench, and he's one of his best centre midfielders at left back. It's nonsense.
Okay, so we're at 45 minutes. So I think I want to take the conversation because it's going to lead to more comments of you answering your own questions. This is my favorite part of Kevin Says, by the way, is when you answer your own questions. I love it. The smart thing for me, I want to hear what you say at the end of that, because I just think sometimes, that saying, keep it simple, stupid, it goes a long way. So Kev, what's the answers to your questions? Let's go to question number one.
Question number one was, did Arteta get it totally wrong last night? I think Arteta got selection problems. Certain parts of the team weren't functioning as it should. I think we gave up supremacy of the midfield by not playing Xhaka in there. We gave up quite a bit defensively from not having a proper fullback at fullback. And I know Granit Xhaka done pretty well. He done pretty well second half, and he wasn't just the cause. But Granit Xhaka, who's not a left back, being one of our better defenders, isn't great. But here's the thing. There were certain parts of when we went down to 10 men, how we improved, how we all of a sudden clicked into gear and started going for it, that I can't level against the manager, because that's what actually got us back into the tie. And I know, yes, it is the players. But as we always say, he carries the can at the end of the day. Did he get it wrong? Yes, he did. Did he get it totally wrong? No, because we're still in the tie and it's half time. Cannot afford another one of these next week, obviously.
But Kev, does that come back to a little of your last question in that we're still in the tie? Maybe that's where the luck comes in, because football is partly luck. Okay, go on.
I'm getting there. You've got me. You're all right on me. You're all right on me. So, question 2 was, did Unai Emery get his tactics spot on and outthink Arteta?
Yeah, I've been wanting to hear you on this one.
In the first half, he did. In the first half, he outfought Mikel Arteta solely because of the way they play. They exposed us.
Regardless who is playing left back, in the midfield.
They exposed us.
Tell everyone.
They exposed us. And you know what I really saw? I saw the fact that Dani Ceballos doesn't have legs in the midfield.
No, he doesn't.
They were playing around him. They weren't doing that to Partey. They were playing around Ceballos. I watched it time and again today. They played around him because he hasn't got the legs to get back. He's a luxury player. He's good on the ball at times, but tracking people, he was giving fouls away. He was clipping. He made that Foyth look like bloody Cafu. It was ridiculous.
Honestly, we had the conversation a little bit yesterday. Yeah, Foyth looked like a world beater yesterday.
And it was ridiculous. And then you see it second half. But did you notice, as soon as Ceballos went off,
sent off,
as soon as he went off, down to 10 men, everything changed. There was more calm in the team.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, Martinelli came on. But from that moment that he got sent off, we were a different team. Why were we a different team? Because maybe the opposition noticed the weakness in our team. The weakness was Ceballos in the center of the pitch. And if you've got a weakness in the center of the pitch, they're going to drive right through it. And that's what they were doing.
So, like GP says, he took the words right out of my mouth. Wait, GP, where have you gone? That means Arteta got that wrong. Because if Xhaka was along...
That's what I said. I said Arteta got it wrong But the question was, did he get it totally wrong? And yes, he did get it wrong, but he adjusted. He had to adjust. Second half, we started to play better, but the turning point for us really was Ceballos going off. Soon as he went off, things changed.
Do you think he's going to play another game before going back to Real Madrid? I don't think he plays another game.
I don't think so.
Because Arteta's trusted, he made 2 hellacious mistakes in the Europa League, and he made it a trifecta, a 3 strikes, you're out.
3 strikes, you're done.
You're done.
3 strikes, you're done. So I think part of it was Emery. Where's the weak point? Because you know what? Sometimes this is what you have to do, Sophie. Excuse me. We think Arteta would have been saying, right, what we're going to do, we're going to play ESR as a false 9 so we could control the game. They're thinking, here's how we hurt them. That's a different mentality. He wants to control the game. He's away from home. Doesn't have to do anything too spectacular to start with. They're looking at, right, we know if he's the weak spot, that's where we expose Arsenal. And they did.
They did. And I mean, from the perspective of Xhaka at left back, you know, Ceballos party, which we've seen does not work, making Rob Holding as captain of Arsenal Football Club, not playing with the striker. You got Martinelli on the bench. I mean, Kev, out of all those things, there are a lot of mistakes that he made, and he must be the luckiest man in the world because we are still involved in this tie.
Well, we're going to get to that.
And we're going to get to that after this. But I just wanted to ask you, of all the decisions or the bad decisions or the non-decisions, was the biggest mistake just not throwing Martinelli up front last night?
Well, you can say yes, but you can say that. But if he puts Martinelli up top and we're 2-0 down, because we've seen players, what I'm saying is we've seen this team not perform in first halves. We've seen this team with Lacazette up there and all that be 3-0 down in the first half. So I'm not just going to say Martinelli would have changed it because I don't know. Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. He went with his gut feeling. As you said, he was squeezing a square peg into a round hole. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
He cannot. What he's got to do, do you know what? If you make a mistake, you got to take it, learn from it, and you move forward. You don't make that damn mistake again. And you can't make that mistake next week.
Kev, is Emery going to come and sit back on that 2-1 lead or try and get an early away goal?
They're going to want to score.
They're going to want to score early
100%.
and then sit back, right? Yeah.
They're going to want to score because if they score, you've got to score 3 goals to win. We need to score first. We really need to put them under massive pressure, just like how we done it to Prague, Slavia Prague. That's what we've got. We need a performance at the Emirates. That's what we need. But I think we can get that with a Lacazette back.
Yes,
you know,
even Aubameyang at this point.
Even if it's Aubameyang for half an hour as well.
Yeah,
because we might need all our firepower on at the same time at some stage.
A little bit like when Oba and Pepe came on at the end of the it was the Slavia Prague game.
Slavia Prague game, yeah.
And changed everything. 11 minutes, boom, 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 shakala, it was over, right? That type of thing. I have a horrible feeling they will get a goal because we're prone to that at home, Kev. And so we're going to need to have our shooting boots on. This is what worries me.
Well, if they're going to score, we need to score 3.
Yeah. I said on the show, didn't I? I wanted 3 away goals and we just got the 1. So
yeah, but you know what? What if 3 away goals is hard when you perform like that in the first half? It's terrible,
definitely.
It's terrible. So let's get to the last one.
Let's do it.
The bonus one is Arteta just lucky or is he smart?
What's your answer?
And my answer is he's actually a bit of both. He's a very smart man who rides his luck incredibly well. Because let's be honest, Sophie, we should have been out. They should have been out of sight in the first half yesterday, and I mean out of sight.
We were awful, man.
We were awful.
It was bad.
And do you know what? If we'd have got done 3 or 4, there's nothing we could have said. Bar that performance, he got it wrong, and we just have to take it. But he's still in with a shout. And here's the smart thing, here's the smart thing about Mikel Arteta.
Mm-hmm.
For all our ups and downs and all of our poor performances, we still have a great chance to get. I am not frightened of this Villarreal team one bit, especially with the injuries and the suspensions. I'm not. I am not worried about them. I'm more worried about us. I don't care about them. If we turn up, we beat them. We go through. If we turn up.
Yeah.
That's what it amounts down to. So, yes, he is smart at times, but boy, he rides his luck. He's a lucky man.
Yeah. This is where I've been saying throughout the season where a little bit of Pep's personality is rubbed off on him. Listen, I have mentors in my life, right? So before I became a head of department, I'm looking at my boss and I'm learning from them. I'm taking some tricks from the trade, Kev.
Of course.
You know, strategically, objectively, you know, launching campaigns, looking after talent, whatever it is, you learn from those who are above you.
Who have done it
and
who are good at it.
At the highest.
Yes.
And are proven, right?
Yes.
And he has that a little bit. But also you have to realize that when that time is then on you, who are the players you have around you? What's the team look like? Can this person do X, Y, and Z? You may have learned that by seeing it from a mentor or a leader, but that doesn't mean you can execute that right off the bat or in a period of time until you have the right players around you. And I mean that from all perspectives, not just Arteta and who he's dealing with, Kevin.
Yeah, you need the squad. You do need the right team. But I think you're right, Sophie. He's learned how to do it, but he's never been the man to do it. That's the difference. You know, he's been around it. He's been number 2. He's been around the culture, so he knows exactly what it feels like, what it looks like. But at the moment, he doesn't have the team. He doesn't have the squad, and his decisions. As this is what football's like. You make a decision, Sophie, and it works. I follow you and I make the same decision over here and it don't work. I then now have to adjust. I have to work it out. And he's proven to be pretty smart at that, how to work it out.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's been moments in my career where I felt like I've had the most amazing luck. But at the same time, I've also made decisions that have created maybe luck and results, right?
Yes.
So I mean, we can all go through things that we feel have worked because we were smart and we did the right thing strategically. But then there's moments where you may take a gamble or you think in your gut, I'm going to take a risk here. It may pay off or it may not. And I think last night he thought he could get away with it and it just didn't come off.
Sophie, do you know something? Could you remember when we played Benfica?
The second leg.
Second leg.
Yeah.
And he put Saka at right back.
Yeah. I was fuming. Remember, we had that. I was
fuming. You're fuming. But it paid off. And sometimes when a manager takes those risks and it pays off, Soph, it makes you think, okay, well, I could do it again. And he's done it with Xhaka a couple of times, and he's done okay. And even the Everton goal, you know, Richarlison got past Xhaka, but it wasn't even a shot. It was a cross, and it went in. So he's thinking, yeah, actually, I'll get away with that. But that's to the detriment of the whole team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And also, it's like when you're at the craps table in Vegas. You roll, you win, you roll, you win, and then all of a sudden you think you can beat the house. Nobody ever beats the house.
That's why there's 100 stories. That's why they've got swimming pools and beach bars and different because they're taking your money.
Exactly.
But he has adjusted over. If you notice, over the 2 legs, he has adjusted. He's had to adjust.
Yes.
And he's got there in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to be a really important one, obviously, for us next Thursday. And I think it's one that we can win. And I'm actually doing it for Sky, I think.
Yeah?
I'm doing it for Sky. But I'm in studio, but I'm doing it for Sky. So Dicky Bowl Thursday again. So
now we're talking a bit of luck, hey? Come on.
There you go. There you go.
Dicky, I've got my tie on today, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But yes, Kev, that's a Kev. Look, shoe in. Now I was feeling lucky before, but now I'm feeling extra lucky if you're definitely doing the game. Yeah. Here's the thing, Kev. We have also shown that we can come back this season. As bad as we've been, we have been able to illustrate moments where maybe we would have capitulated in the past, and we've capitulated this year. There's no doubt about that, but we've also shown strength to come back. And we saw it against Benfica. You know, we've seen it against West Ham. And I don't think those were lucky moments. I think the team grafted, came together, played well. Tierney in that game against
Slavia Prague as well.
Slavia, yeah, definitely. So, yes. Well, look, very interesting. And I love your take. I love that you watched that first half. Great questions, Kev. Another brilliant, Kevin says. I thought I was going to be a bit more mad at you tonight, but I'm not, because you know and you've seen the fact that, you know what? And I love it. You got it wrong.
He got it wrong. 100. Yesterday, I couldn't comment on it because I never saw it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought to myself, if I'm going to come on and I'm going to ask these questions, I've got to watch it.
Yep.
And you know me, normally, I'm not one to say, listen, this is this if I haven't seen it. I have to see it. And I saw it, and that's why I'm asking them questions, because you know what? 24 hours after it, people tend to, some might have watched it again, some have like put it down and not picked it up, and then they come on and watch us. And we're actually talking about it intelligently. I think sometimes that's what it needs. And yes, he did get it wrong. Yes, he did play Xhaka out of position. Yes, he played a false 9 when we could have had a striker up there. But you know what, Sophie? We are still in with a great chance of getting through.
Yeah.
We really are.
Kev, you know, we talked about the pace because we both wanted Gabriel to start, and we've enjoyed Mari and Holding and that partnership against certain teams. But we said, you got to play Gabriel so we don't get caught out as much. When you were watching that, especially in the first half, didn't you think that Holding and Mari got totally exposed?
Exposed. Yeah. Totally got exposed.
Can't do that in our home leg.
On the home leg, if we don't get control of that midfield, we will get exposed.
Yep.
The great fact of the matter is, Ceballos, he's done.
Yeah, he's
now
got
Arteta's going to have to say, Xhaka, you get back in there beside Partey. He's going to have to.
Because, Kev, as good as Partey was at Atletico, we've seen him blow hot and cold here. But he's, to me, and this is why I'm not going to kill Partey, there's certain, like N'Golo Kante, he can play with anyone. He's just that type of player. Partey, in a team where there's maybe less talent, he needs someone of his ilk or even half of his ilk to play alongside him. Am I defending him too much, expecting great things from him, or is that fair?
No. The quality he possesses, I mean, when I watch Thomas Partey, I see things that probably a lot of people don't see because I've been a pro, I'm on the pitch. But any good player needs a supporting cast. He needs a partner with him or a supporting cast. It's really important. When he plays with Xhaka, Xhaka is a more solid player than Ceballos.
Yep.
Our midfield don't get exposed anywhere near as much as it did yesterday. But isn't it funny when Ceballos plays, we get exposed big time in the midfield because Partey can't be two places at once.
Yeah.
He can't. You can't make up for the Ceballos' lack of legs.
Yeah. I want to ask you something too, because a few people have sent in questions about Capoue, and also Foyth. Foyth isn't going to play in the second leg, and Capoue, A-E, however you want to pronounce it, guys, you can always correct me.
Capoue or whatever, yeah.
He's banned.
Suspended.
How deep is their squad to combat that, Kev? Is this a blessing?
Well, again, like I'm saying, there's that bit of luck, riding your luck, and there's the smarts. Mikel Arteta has to pick the right team next week to make sure we have the best chance to go through. No messing around, and he will have probably Lacazette available next week, so we can go from there.
And Koch will play, right?
Right,
Probably.
Coquelin will play. Coquelin ain't hurting nobody. Let's be honest.
Those days are gone.
Them days are done. But here's the thing: they still have decent players who can play there, but they're not. They're not as good as the players that are out. That's for sure. So it's in our best interest to make sure we're on it. If we're on it, we beat them. No two ways about it. We will beat them if we're at it.
I was so confident we were going to win yesterday. And I think if we had done the things that most of us felt Arteta should do, we win that game. I'm still confident we get to the final. I am. I don't know why. Call me crazy. And you know, everyone on this show knows I've been very critical of Arteta. But for some reason, the dream isn't dead. It's still alive. And I truly believe we will be in that Europa League final. Call me crazy. Call me nuts.
Listen, they know I'm crazy. They know I'm crazy. They know I'm crazy. Listen, I am crazy for Arsenal. I want Arsenal to win everything, obviously. I am crazy. I still think we beat Villarreal at home and we go to the final.
I do too.
Manchester United.
I do too. All right. Before I get out, Kev, I wanted to ask you this question because we've been seeing a lot of stories. We've had a lot of guests on our show, just talking to you throughout time about racist abuse online. I get it as a woman, as a gay woman especially. I mean, we've all had it in our own way, shape or form. There's a blackout until Monday night. And personally, I've chosen not to come off social media because maybe it's kind of my upbringing in terms of what my dad used to instill in me, in that, remember, and he says this respectfully, no one's ever better than you. You're all humans. And this is how he said it in Greek, and it sounds a lot more poetic in Greek. But he says we all eat, sleep, shit, drink, and we're all human. And if someone says something to you or comes at you, you always defend yourself. You always put your best foot forward to do the right thing. And I respect everyone's opinion about coming off social media. But I guess my way is I will tackle you. It's like a scene of Game of Thrones, right? It's like that moment with the Battle of the Bastards, Jon Snow, with all the horses and the army coming at him, and he's standing there with his sword, not, facing them. I want your opinion too, because I think we think similarly on this front. I don't think that's going to change anything. In essence, it should be the social media platforms taking a break from something versus everybody else. What's your take on that?
My take is, look, people can protest however they want. Of course they can. I'm not doing no blackout. I've worked hard to have a voice, so I'm going to use that voice. That's just me, but that's my opinion. That's how I do it. I don't see how a 3-day blackout's going to change anything, because the companies are still going to be there. The racists are still going to be there. The abusers are still going to be there. We fought so hard to have a voice, and now everyone wants to go silent. To me, it makes no sense. But that's just me. If people want to go silent, that's their thing. If people, just like the knee, if some want to take the knee, some don't want to take the knee, That's exactly fine. That's exactly fine. People can do it however they want. But for me, no chance. I am cracking on with my morning messages. I am still going to be spreading positivity. I'm still going to be engaging with Arsenal fans, Everton, all of that, all my fan base or whatever. Because you know what? No matter what happens, life goes on. So
it does.
Life goes on. Life doesn't stop because Kev Campbell got racially abused.
No, and that
life goes on.
And we know that it's abhorrent and it's wrong. And there's such disgusting, despicable people out there that hide behind their keyboards and do awful things. But it's almost like, I think I sent this to the Arsenal Los Angeles group earlier. Imagine if Rosa Parks gave up her seat. Imagine if Harvey Milk conformed to the bigots. Imagine if Martin Luther King didn't share his dream. Imagine if Nelson Mandela opted for fear over freedom. You know, these are the people that gave us the voice. No matter where you fit, you know, whether you're black, white, Asian, gay, straight, whatever it is, these people risked their lives. Kev, forget about staying. They risked and lost their lives.
100%. Sophie, you make such a great point. We're there talking about a little bit of racism on a social network, which you don't have to be on.
Exactly.
It's their choice. And now, obviously, you know, with the football coin and the football app, etc., there's an alternative. There are alternatives where all of these people can go. But and I'm not saying it's right that they do get racially abused or anything like that. Of course it's not. It is abhorrent. But it is a choice. Thierry Henry made the choice. He's coming off it.
It's choice.
That's it. And that is the choice. But if Thierry Henry said, I'm coming off it for 3 days, then I'm going back on it on Monday, well, fair enough. That's his protest, but don't complain when these things happen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, we are we are going to be. I love that, Morpheus. That's so cool. Come on, I love it.
Hold on, let me get my hood up.
Now you are the chosen one, Neo.
which pill do you want, boys and girls? The red one or the blue one?
I'll take them all, Super Kev.
I'll take them both.
Oh my goodness. And yes, Samir, typical. I was even giving Kev Sophie time on Same Old Arsenal a little while ago. So true. And yes, Brixton, you can never take the boy out of Brixton. Tell him, Kev, you can't. You
can't. Listen, you could take me out of Brixton, but you can't take Brixton out. The boy, that's why I'm having broke the neck.
Broke the neck. And this from Raul. I want the winning pill for Arsenal.
Yes. Raul, 100%. And you know what? Over 2 legs, we've got through.
Yes.
Over 2 legs, we have got through. So fingers crossed, the boys turn up next week and do us all proud, get us to the final. And then what a great final that will be, us against Manchester United.
Oh, come on. It's I mean, those are things that we dream of. Is Curtis in the house? I haven't seen Curtis, but everyone's saying Curtis is in the house. So big up to Mr. C.
Nice
thanks for joining us. But also you, squaddies. We've had a lot of legendary comments tonight. But you guys are the legends. We love you. We adore you. Another superb week here at Highbury Squad HQ.
It's my first week back. It was lovely to be back.
Kev, I tell you, I missed you like ridiculous amounts, which you know already. And I know I'm getting you for pretty much of next week too, which I'm very excited about because it's a big week next week. And we'll be making some announcements over the weekend. But let's just say that there's a very special anniversary next week. It's the Arsenal 50th 71 double winner anniversary. It doesn't. Listen, Kev.
It don't get
just
better than that. I'm telling
tell
you.
the kids. This where.
Them boys, it don't get better than that back then. I'm telling you now. And especially how they done it. The way they done it.
Yeah. Just brilliant. Brilliant.
That result at White Hart Lane. I mean, come on, Soph.
Yeah. I mean, look, Adam's like, broke them spine.
Broke them up. Adam broke them up, man. Broke them.
Oh, the tie. Okay, I'll explain real quick about the tie. So because of this whole like trolling and, you know, being a woman in football, you get a lot of shit, Nicholas. I'm not going to lie. I don't broadcast it, but we do. I do. And also, I've never kind of hidden the fact I'm gay. I've been in a beautiful relationship for almost 20 years. I have the most amazing partner and we family. And so sometimes you just want to like wear a tie to piss people off, because one of my favorite jokes in the world was when Ellen hosted the Emmys after a terrorist attack. And I can't remember if it was 9/11 or what, but it was a pretty bad one. And she said, what could be more offensive to evil people and terrorists than a Jewish woman standing on stage, a gay woman standing on stage wearing a tie? I mean, it just kind of stuck with me. So today I thought I'd wear a tie for all the haters, because I'm a tomboy. That's me. I've always been a tomboy since I was young. So that's the reason behind the tie. And you know what? It looks cool. How about that?
And it's red. And there's red in it. So there you go. And there's some red in it.
It's a bit of pink and red and yellow away colours as well.
Hey, listen, that'll do. That'll do.
Well, look, we're going to be back. We play Sunday. I don't know if we're not. Are we doing a post-game show on Sunday, Kev?
I think we can. I think we can,
right,
if you need to, because I'm working the night. I'm doing the. Is it Sunday Barcelona game? No, actually, no, it's not. Let me just make sure the Barcelona game.
Please hold the line while Super Kevin Campbell checks out his schedule, because we're all here for this, aren't we? We're all here for it.
Listen, this is an important one. This really is an important one.
I mean, La Liga is so exciting.
They play Sunday night. So
okay,
I can do it, but I'm working Sunday night, so that's cool.
Okay, well, cool. All right, so we'll be back after the game. It's a 6 a.m. kickoff for me.
Hold on a minute. Let me just stop you. Something's just come up on my thing. I can't do it because I'm working the game.
It just literally, you just got sent an email.
It's coming. I'm working the game. I'm doing the Newcastle Arsenal game. I am.
No, are you? That's so epic. Okay, cool. All right, good.
So it's for overseas broadcaster.
Okay, lovely. All right, awesome. And also, I love it. People saying we can't get the staff, and now people will call your people. Listen, as we said, we don't hide anything here on the Highbury Squad. Just give it to you straight. So this is a great way to end the week. It's an hour and 18 minutes of pure magic. We gave you Jags. Super Kevin says was back with a beautiful vengeance in a huggy kind of way tonight. Yeah. And also, we're hoping that Mark won the Kanu auction tonight, which we'll find out a little bit later. But I'll tell you something, you squaddies are the best. You're the best. We love you. Kev, we'll be back Monday with some special stuff. I'm telling you, they're not going to want to miss next week at all. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be a big week. So listen, everyone. Yesterday was difficult. We know. At 24 hours, we chill out. We done the Kev says. I broke a couple of necks, and we're all right now. Sunday's the next one. Listen, have a lovely Friday night or Friday day, whatever time of day it is. Have a lovely, beautiful weekend. And remember, nice one, Vinny. Always Arsenal.
Vinny at the end.